Hi everyone. I just wanted to go over one of the assignments you'll be working on this week. It's called Philosophy of Education Activity Number 2. Please note that this is not the beginning Philosophy of Education assignment that's due July 3rd. This activity, along with Philosophy of Education Activity Number 1, will help you formulate your philosophy. So for here, you are going to download the Philosophy of Education Activity Number 2, which is a chart you're going to fill out. You'll type your answers and save and then upload it under assignments. For each section, you're going to provide 3 examples of what you believe and how you will provide for those beliefs in the classroom. So let me download this to show you what it looks like. Okay, so the first one here, you'll see it is broken into 2 sides. So you have I believe on this side, and I will provide for this by on this side. Now remember, because we have lots of different philosophies about how children learn best and curriculum choices, this is going to, really be a formulation of what you have learned in this course, and it shows what your understanding of early childhood education is like at this point. And so it says 3 purposes of early childhood education in the United States. So here you can combine what you came up with from Philosophy of Education Activity Number 1, and then maybe some other thoughts about things that you have learned about early childhood education, and list 3 here. So for example, if you think early childhood education helps build responsible citizens, you would put responsible citizens here, and then how are you going to provide for that in the classroom? So for example, we could put be responsible citizens, and then over here we would be provide opportunities to make decisions about the classroom. You could do vote. You could do job responsibilities. Like whoever is doing the lights or who is ever watering the plants, that sort of thing. So you not only need to say what it is over here, but then you need to show how you're going to do that in your classroom on the other side. The next one is learning. Children learn best when they are engaged in. So this is where we're looking at our theories. And so what are some things that you have learned, about constructivism? What are some things that you have learned from Piaget? What are some things you have learned from Vygotsky? So, those could be children learn best when they are doing hands-on activities. Children learn best when they have the opportunity to engage with peers and adults. Children learn best when they are engaged in activities that are activities that they are most interested in. And then again, how you're going to provide for that over here. Curriculum and pedagogy. So curriculum is the activities that we provide, and pedagogy is how we teach them, right? So we've looked at HighScope and Montessori, and I know some of you already work with the creative curriculum, but mostly I just want you to focus on things like, what are your activities and materials going to look like? So probably one of the things that I would put here are learning centers based on developmentally appropriate early childhood content. And then I would have learning centers that provide for science, math, blah, 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 whatever it might be. If you're thinking about preschool. Now, if you're an infant toddler teacher, you are more than welcome to go like the infant toddler way. I don't think that it's important that you necessarily talk about both age groups in this philosophy, or it's going to get too long. So I would focus on one age group or another. Pedagogy, like what are some ways that we teach children? Like usually some kind of direct instruction or modeling could go here. I don't know, questioning, I can't spell today, modeling, questioning. We don't need to have all of these numbers here, but these are some things that you can consider. But make sure that you put over here, then what is that going to actually look like in your classroom? Dispositions are what you read about earlier this week. It's all in the modules. There's a PowerPoint and then some information on assessing dispositions that we do in the program, and then what the dispositions we have chosen to use in the early childhood program at Blackhawk are. Those are the ones that I want. That's the list of dispositions that I want you to use, and I want you to choose your top 3 from there. Again, this is a complete values statement, so you can't be wrong. The only way that you could be wrong is if you're not using a disposition that comes from the module. So if we go back here and we come back to, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. We come back to this week's module. Here you have instructor's information on teaching dispositions. And then there is a list of the dispositions that we use at Blackhawk College. And so you need to take a look at all of these and decide which ones you think are the top 3. And then you need to list those on the philosophy of education assignment under dispositions. But then you need to show how you are going to deliver those types of dispositions in your classroom. So if you're talking about being responsible, how are you going to show you're responsible? If you are really concerned about making sure all children learn, how are you going to make sure that happens in your classroom? All right, so this is what we are working on this week. If you have questions about it, feel free to reach out.